What's up guys, just Messi here, welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got a team of the season tournament win for this one right there, which is the Liga BBVA TOTS Cup. And the very first win, you do get a team of the season item, which is Ruben Castro, a very good striker. And today I won it first time. But before you get any further guys, as always, smash 1,500 likes, that'd be absolutely awesome. If you're to my channel, click that subscribe button for more. And in the description below will be my previous video, which was in fact transfer. So let's start off then. Obviously there is the tournament itself. I've won it the first time, so it says the Rakitic is my next tournament reward. But either way, I'm going to show you the team I built first and then show you the highlights of every single game. So the team I used was quite stacked, but it's essentially based off players I had in my club already. So I went with the 4-3-3 variant number 4 because that personally for me is my favourite formation in the game. And the goalkeeper was ter Stegen. Initially I had Oblak in there because he has the giant throw trait, but he doesn't seem to have any arms, which is kind of takes away from that whole trait he has. But ter Stegen, he really is a great goalkeeper. The only thing he doesn't have, like I mentioned, is the giant throw. But he's 6'2", 83 diving, 85 reflexes, and 82 kicking. So his kicking, it kind of makes up for having a short throw on him. And then we have got a team of the year scattered about, but again, they were in my club before. And the very first one is going to the team of the year, Dani Alves. He sent me back 300,000 coins. I've not really used him too much. There's 30 games taking out the 4 that I played with him yesterday. So he does seem very good in game. I'd probably change him to a centre mid in game because his stats are just phenomenal. Every single stat above 80, which is great. And then the centre backs, I went with a Silva, which is obviously Klodjak, my favourite centre-back in the game, essentially. And next to him, his partner is going to be Rafael Varane. They've both got height, they've both got pace. Obviously, Varane 79 pace, 6'3", and Klodjak has 76 pace and 6'1". And I've used him 82 games and still yet to score a single goal. The final defender is going to the left back, which is Jordi Alba. He's got pace for days. He does attack a bit like most of the defenders in this tournament will, but overall, a very good left back on the game. The midfield trio, we've got kind of a mixture of everything. We've got creativeness in Iniesta. We've got a very good passer in Luka Modric, and also an absolute brute in Steven Nzonzi. So a very quick rundown then. The very first one is going to be Luka Modric, 87 rated. I mean, his card suggests everything that he has. He's just good all round, can defend, can go forward, has 89 dribbling, which for me is kind of key in that centre mid role. Right centre mid, we've got a player that he's got 80 dribbling to be fair. He's 6'3", 70 pace, 85 physical, and that is Steven Nzonzi's in form. He's cost 20,000 coins right now. It is an absolute animal in that right centre mid spot. And the final one, I mean, this guy says it for himself again, a team of the year Iniesta. I wouldn't have used it at the team of the year if I hadn't have already had him in my club. In fact, he's a first owner, but I've used him a lot and he's incredible. And the front three then, we're going to go off with the left wing, and that's going to be Yevgen Konoplyanka. His stats to me look really shocking. 26 games, 5 goals, 3 assists is terrible, but I don't know why, but he is still very good in game. And then right wing, we've got the silver inform Iñaki Williams. I bought him for 316,000 coins. That's hideous, but still used him a lot since then. You can obviously get his upgraded version. And the final one, quite a big player, to be honest, quite well known, and that is a 93 rated Ronaldo. I've only used him for 23 games, and I've had him since day one, the 15th of September. I always used him as a left wing, and I absolutely hated him. Although this tournament, I think 4 games, he got like probably 9 goals, so he killed it in this tournament for me at striker. He goes for about 500k right now, but again, first owner, that is why he's there. Alternatively, I probably use like Bakambu. And the bench end quickly, we've got Oblak, who again has no arms for me. We've got Pepe, who I didn't use. Kovacic, he was in there for like 1 game, but I think I needed a bit of a brute in the midfield, hence why I swapped him for Nzonzi. Rodriguez didn't use. Hesse, I bought him on like twice. Benzema bought him on once. Griezmann, I think bought him once again. And the rest of these didn't play at all. So the team, it held its own. So there is a squad. Let's show you all 4 games now and show you how I won it very first time. So now we've got the 4 games. The very first one obviously is going to be the first round, and I started this dead on around 6 PM. So I had probably a lot of sweaty people at the start that may have been trying to wait for that tournament itself. So as you can see, very first round, and we head into our first opponent. So this guy has got a pretty solid team, to be honest. He's got the likes of Benzema, Griezmann, James Rodriguez, and players that you'll see in essentially every single team you play in this tournament. And apologies if you count my dogs in the background. It's currently thundering a lot, and I can't really do much about it. So I've got some like tips. Obviously I'm not a pro or anything, but I consider myself a better than average player, and I think I won the BPL one 3rd time round. I got to every single final. And the Bundesliga one, I won the 3rd time as well after getting to 2 other finals. So my squad, it was made up of players again that were in my club. Team Iniesta, personally, I thought was definitely key. He was unless your alternative, if you don't have many coins, could be a cam that's very tricky, that has a good, like okay pace, like 75 to 80 possibly, and his dribbling and passing are just his key stats. That is what the main thing is for me in a central attacking midfielder. So what I want to talk about this actual tournament then. The elite players are the most overpowered in my opinion. I say overpowered, but obviously like Ronaldo and that, they should be very good. But that's what I'm going to say. Players like Ronaldo and that, they're not very easy attainable. Obviously, some people may have bought coins or like potentially like obviously got them in packs, but I honestly, I don't know. Not many people tend to have them in normal matches, but in this tournament, I think out of the 4 games I played, 3 people, in fact, had a Ronaldo. And I think that makes this tournament a little bit less sweaty than the previous 2, because the likes of the Bundesliga and the BPL, they've got a lot of mid-tier players that are like, say, 82 or 83 rated, or even lower than that. They cost you around 4,000 coins maximum, and they can be filthy good. But in terms of BBVA, there's not that many sweaty strikers, apart from the likes, like the high-rated ones, like Griezmann and stuff. They're very good, but compared to like Aubameyang, they're not as good as him. That's my point I'm putting across. Personally, I didn't find this tournament very difficult at all compared to the other ones, and I think there's like Bakambu, he's possibly quite a cheap option at striker. But in general, there's not that many cheap players to compare to. There's a massive gap between your Ronaldos and Iniestas and stuff compared to the others. Like I said before, look at that clearance, by the way, that's crazy. But yeah, like in the BPL, you have like an 83 rated Sturridge, and there's not that much of a difference between him and say like I don't know, an 88 Aguero or something. There's not that much of a difference in terms of how good they are in front of goal. Whereas there's quite a big gap, in my opinion, between like a Ronaldo and say a Soldado. There's a huge gap. So that's what I'm kind of saying. The elite players aren't as common in this tournament as the previous 2. One thing also you may have to keep in mind for BBVA tournaments, a lot of the key that the high-end players like your Sergio Ramos, your Jordi Alba, your Dani Alves, all 3 of them alone have high attacking work rates. So that can be a bit of a pain. I think in one clip actually, Ramos managed to run forward. I think it may have been this game. Ramos ran forward from a centre-back role and slid it home past my goalkeeper. I was like, what the hell? He made a run that a striker doesn't usually make, and that can play in your favour sometimes, because if their centre-back goes wandering, you've got a lot of space to walk into, unless they have someone like a Steven Nzonzi, and they'll naturally cover that centre-back role. The second guy, though, has got Ronaldo again. I don't think the first guy did. I can't remember if he did, but he has a striker Ronaldo, so obviously he has a fair amount of coins at his disposal. And I think, did I dispose this guy quite easy? I can't actually remember. But back onto my points this tournament, though. I've got one more to cover. Have useful substitutes. Substitutes are seriously key in tournaments. Tournaments get sweaty, they do. And if you care about a player's goal-to-game ratio, don't have them in your team. Obviously, unless it's crazy good anyway, you're not going to get like a 2-to-1 goal-to-game ratio in tournaments, most likely. I think I did with Ronaldo in this tournament because he tore people a new arsehole, basically. But compared to, like, say, if you have a special card like an Inform or something, that you just want to have a really good goal-to-game ratio, and you're kind of struggling a little bit, I would focus on a player that you're willing to substitute off if it's not going well, because then you can get a new player on, a fresh set of legs, and then you can go from there. Because that, again, fresh set of legs versus a defender that has no stamina compared to like a Conor Plianka that's subbed on, they have got no chance. So the 3 areas that, in my opinion, you should have as backup then: a DM that's strong and stays back. Like I have Nzonzi starting, but as an alternative, there are like a Busquets or someone that you could substitute on if things aren't going your way, because DMs are very useful in this game. If you get them staying back, they can be the key between winning and losing. Next to that then, I would also go for a pacey winger or a forward, because you need some pace against people that have low stamina, like I mentioned. If you have I'm trying to think, like a Griezmann at your disposal, you're not necessarily starting. Griezmann's a very good super sub. Actually, a cheap alternative to that is like a Jesse Rodriguez. Jesse is fantastic to bring off the bench because he's got bags of pace, and that's all you need against a defender that has very little stamina. And after, like, say, 75th minute, you'll do them just by probably by jogging, and that right there is a fantastic goal by Conor Plianka in the 77th minute. So we're 4-0, we're cruising, and again, it's got a decent team, but we'll kind of give him La Sausage. And there is a little chip by Cristiano Ronaldo. So they are my points about this tournament. Quickly, the elite players, they're not as common, I don't think, in like every single position maybe. There's a massive gap between the elite players and the shitters. It's not as sweaty as the previous 3, and the defenders attack all the time. Also on top of that, the substitutes, they are key. And now we go into our semi-final, and this guy's got a 4-3-2-1 with Neymar, Jackson Martinez, who's very difficult to defend against on this game. So he's a cheap striker, and you can slot into your squad. And Neymar, I don't think Neymar done anything against me in this game. We start off in the 7th minute, disposing a nice tiny empty net finish by Iniesta. And this right here, we do get a very quick second in the 10th minute. So we come off and we're leading 2-0 in the semi-final. That puts pressure on my opponent instantly, and we do get unlucky there by hitting the post. So we're cruising this game, and what I want to do, the least thing I want to do, was give away a goal, because that would, what is that missed by Nzonzi, by the way? Yeah, don't want to give away a goal very cheaply. And I was kind of lucky because Casemiro is the one that is getting all of his chances, and Casemiro has got a Toblerone head. If it hits him in the head, that ball is going wide and he's not very clinical whatsoever. So we're 3-0 up after Modric put that way. He does get one back with Jackson Martinez in the 65th minute. I just wanted to hold on, but again, Casemiro is there and he bottles yet again another chance. 90th minute, 3-1 win. We're on to the final. So the final then, we're going to show you the opponent right now. And luckily, he had a really dodgy team. He had 3 silvers in there. Although silvers don't mean anything, they can be very good to play with, like Douglas and obviously Mastor. But Mastor's like a flair player. He's not someone you have in a tournament, in my opinion. And we go off to the best possible start with Iniesta bagging and making it 1-0 after a few minutes. So that's kind of the ideal start. This game though, like look at this for a stunner by Iñaki Williams. Banger onto the post and we get ourselves a goal. So we're 2-0 up and we're very early on in the game. So I was like, you know what? I was very confident by this point I'd won the game already. It's probably a bad like mindset to be in, especially if they do this against you. Paco Alcacer, I think his name is, the Valencia striker. He wiggles his way in, somehow very poor defending, and it's a very good finish to him, to be fair, and he makes it 2-1. But luckily for us, Ronaldo, he's sublime at striker. Again, I slayed him like a lot of left wing, but at striker, he is very, very clinical and he makes it 3-1. Apologies again if you can't hear my dog, he's going mental, but the Thunder, I can't really, again, change anything about that. We get really unlucky there to scoring a banger with Ronaldo after hitting the crossbar, and it just wasn't meant to be that game. Like a world out of Ronaldo. I think Iñaki Williams got the worldie, and we're really unlucky there not to make it 4-1 with Conor Bianca. So as you can see by the time, it's 34 minutes in and we're already 3-1 up cruising. But this is one of my favourite goals I've scored. Iniesta into Conor Bianca, gets it back, and a lovely triplets across, and Iñaki Williams backstick with an empty net, and that I really like goals out there. Really, I appreciate them a lot. And we were very unlucky there not to make it 5-1 with a banger from Ronaldo. So again, he didn't really do too much, the odd pop shot here and there. We get the ball here, Ronaldo, we hit it wide, and he pauses it. So he's clearly playing, and then we wait a few seconds, and this results in rage quitting, and it means that we do win the tournament 4-1, and we get ourselves that team of the season, Ruben Castro. So as you can see, connection has been lost to your opponent, and it wasn't like a disconnect randomly, it was in fact a rage quit. So as you can see, winners, special item, Ruben Castro, and that card looks really good, or item, sorry. And we advance on, and I'll show you him being put into the club right now. So there he is, 87 pace, 84 shot, 87 dribbling, and 70 passing. He will be in a squad video tomorrow with him, Sane, and also the team this season, Robert Huth. We're right there in that 4-3-3 formation. And as you can see, we scroll along to the right, and they are untradeable, and he goes into the squad, guys. So that is be the end of the video. So guys, enjoy this video, smash the like button. 1,500 likes would be absolutely awesome. If you're to my channel, click that subscribe button for more, and in the comments below, have you won this tournament yet? And also my previous video will be down below in that description box, guys. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.